Thousands of people gather in St. Peter's Square at the Vatican in Rome to see the unveiling of this year's nativity scene. But what's different about this nativity scene is that, as well as having Mary and Joseph and the figures that we're all used to seeing in a crib, there's also St. Francis of Assisi and a number of Franciscan friars, and for a very special reason.
It's so beautiful. Like, I don't know why the people is here, like, seeing it. It's like amazing.
I think it's beautiful. I really like it. It's my first time here.
It reminds me like my young age, because I was building it also at my home with my parents.
Yes, I like it. Symbol of hope and Christianity.
I think about the beauty of our God who has decided to come as a man, in that small little child. In Italian they say c'è qualcosa che ti colpisce. It's something that makes you think, that comes to your heart.
The nativity scene here at the Vatican this year is extra special because it's based on the very first one that was created by St. Francis of Assisi 800 years ago in the town of Greccio. It was in 1223, here in the Italian village of Greccio, that a tradition was born that would spread throughout the world. Up on this hilltop, inside a small cave, pilgrims and visitors come to pray and reflect on the birth of Christ, including Pope Francis in 2019. Father Michael Baggett is a priest who leads pilgrimages here. So Father Michael, this is the very spot.
That's right. This is the famous Greccio cave. Very small, very simple, but powerful.
For this is the very spot of the first nativity scene ever created. Take us back 800 years. What happened here at this site?
St. Francis of Assisi was traveling and he came across this lovely town of Greccio, and it reminded him so much of the Holy Land. He was inspired in this cave to create the first manger of history. And it was not just a static piece of art, it was a living scene.
It's believed that the inspiration to do a live representation of the birth of Jesus came to St. Francis during his time in the Holy Land. Seeing the holy sites connected to Jesus' life made everything feel more real for him, and he wanted to recreate that experience for others.
He wanted everyone to experience the simplicity, the poverty, and the humility of God who comes to us in weakness and so vulnerable, so that we are able to approach him with confidence. So we're here in a cave, and Francis didn't just bring in people, he brought in animals.
Real animals?
Yes, real animals. He's probably the first to bring in the ox and the donkey.
It was like a play, like a theater. They showed what the moment was like.
Exactly. And then, of course, this is spread throughout the church. And I was thinking to myself, just walking through St. Peter's Square, you know you're important when St. Peter's is imitating you, right? Because St. Peter's Square, as you mentioned, has a manger scene this year based on Greccio.
It's incredible to think that from those humble and simple beginnings, the nativity scene has now become such a part of the Christmas celebration all across the world. For the past 39 years, in the town of Verona in the north of Italy, an exhibition has tried to show how the nativity scene is today depicted in different ways all over the globe. Michaela is the curator of this exhibition, which has almost 200 nativity scenes from all over the world.
You can see we have got different nativity scenes from Africa. We've got a Japanese script with bamboo. And you see how different they are, because they are so simple, you know. The material they use, they have got wood, the colors, they are very delicate, and you know, the traditions that they reflect in their masterpieces.
Isn't it so beautiful that, you know, us in our own countries, we think of the nativity scene in a certain way, but for every country around the world, they see their own people in that nativity scene.
Exactly.
And their own colors and cultures.
Exactly, their traditions, you know.
There is such a variety of nativity scenes on display, some austere and simple, while others, like the European ones, are more elaborate and detailed.
Yeah, great. I like how they expressed those details. Actually, we're planning to make something similar for the Christmas. Yeah.
More simple. Tanti personaggi.
So many characters. It's mechanical and it's emotion.
What do you like about the nativity story?
Che è una storia molto bella.
It is a very beautiful story. There's Mary, who wants to have a child, but thinks she'll never have one. And the angel comes and tells her she'll have a child.
It's very interesting for me too. It's beautiful to see how, let's say, the Nativity develops in all countries of the world, and reminds us, in short, that Jesus arrives not only in Bethlehem, but he arrives in all places and in all homes.
800 years after the first one went on display in that small town of Greccio, the nativity scene has become such a strong symbol of joy and hope for millions of people all over the world. In Verona, Colm, Flynn, EWTN News in Depth.